Hey, I'm Chris, and once again it's come that time for a walk with Walt. And today what we're going to talk about is myths about Walt Disney. So the first myth I want to start off with is the myth of the creation of Mickey Mouse. And I've heard people say he didn't create Mickey. I've heard them say that he is a co-creator. The truth is, he is the co-creator of Mickey Mouse. And the reason why I say this is I do believe that he may have actually come up with the idea for Mickey Mouse. He come up with the idea for who Mickey Mouse was. He came up with the name. Actually, the whole story is he wanted to call him Mortimer, and his wife Lillian said that's horrible. So she came up with the name Mickey, and that's how he got Mickey. Obviously, Walt's never drawn Mickey. It was Ub Iwerk who actually created the drawing of Mickey and the animation of Mickey as well. Now, I feel like Mickey had been around longer than what we're led on to believe, because if you go back and watch the Alice shorts, there are little mice that run around Alice sometimes, and they look like what would be a predecessor to Mickey Mouse. But yeah, what was the co-creator of Mickey Mouse? Ub actually drew Mickey Mouse, so together they created Mickey Mouse. And I believe the Iwerk family still does work for the Disney company, or the Walt Disney Company. So the creation of Mickey Mouse was a co-creation. So the next thing we'll go to is believing that a lot of his feature-length animations were created to be motherless because Disney felt responsible for his mother's death. Now, what it was once Walt Disney had made it, he bought his mother and his father a house. His mother ended up dying from, is it carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide poisoning because of a faulty furnace. And he felt responsible for her death. Now, the truth about this is there's only a few movies without a mother. And most of these stories were actually already wrote without a mother. And the thing was when his mother had died, Flora, Snow White had already come out, and Bambi was already in production. So it doesn't seem to really hold any truth that's the reason why there's a mother missing in the story. So I don't really think, I think this is a myth. And, just seems to be more true that he just was telling the story that was from of the original story. Alright, so our next myth is Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. Now, the reason why this has come up is because he gave Leni Riefenstahl a tour of the animation studio. And if you don't know who Leni Riefenstahl is, Leni Riefenstahl was a filmmaker for Hitler. And because Disney did this, people believe that he was an anti-Semite. And they also believe that he didn't like blacks or African Americans. And the truth is, I'm not for sure, but he actually had Jewish work for him. He actually hired the first black animator. So by Biographers have even said there is no facts showing that Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. Now, where this all got really big, obviously, was at an award ceremony. Meryl Streep had brought up that Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. Now, when you accuse somebody of something like that, it's not up to the person who's being accused to prove their innocence. It's up to the person who's making the accusation. Now, I think Meryl Streep is a great actress, but I don't like Meryl Streep as a person, because I've just seen certain things that she's done and said, and I think that when it comes to that kind of stuff, she's just ignorant on the subject. But we're not talking about Meryl Streep. We're talking about Walt Disney. All right, let's get to the last one. And our last one, of course, is Walt, either completely frozen or his head is frozen and resides underneath Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland, or underneath Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland, which is not true. It's not true at all. At the time that Walt had passed away, before he was interested in cryogenics, and there were some people working on it, but they weren't far enough to be doing anything like what people say about obviously freeing somebody and being able to bring them back to life or reanimating them later. But I do believe, they said that Disney was interested in this, and I believe this because Disney was interested in any kind of advancements, any kind of technologies, anything that was, something new. He was always interested. But the truth is, Walt was actually cremated, and his final resting spot is in Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. And he was laid to rest there, and along with him there is his wife Lillian, his father Elias, and his mother Flora. They all rest in the exact same cemetery. And I just think a lot of this stuff, these myths, it seems like the way it is facts don't seem to be what keeps stories alive. It seems more like that if the myth is repeated over and over and over again, it seems like it becomes the fact, and that's not true. So once again, like I said, false accusations, the person who makes the accusation should have the proof before they make the accusation. A lot of these things aren't true about Disney. There are other myths about Disney I didn't cover, but I think I covered the main ones. A lot of people thinks he's frozen. Not true. A lot of people thought he was an anti-Semite. Not true. There's not enough proof to even show that. I believe Walt loved everyone. Walt created Disneyland for everyone. Not once did Walt ever say, Disneyland is only for these people, and these people are not allowed in. And I don't think he was the kind of man that would do stuff like that. And that's basically it. So this was a walk with Walt over the myths of Walt Disney. And if you enjoy this, please leave me a like and a comment. Maybe give me some ideas for other walks, what I can talk about Walt Disney. But if you've just now found the channel, please hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know when I post a video or when I go live. But as for that, I hope to see you on our next walk. Thanks for watching.